It's time for Fergus Falls American Legion Baseball down at the Junior Legion State Baseball Tournament. Brought to you by Pemberton Law, Fergus Falls Monument Company, Lakeway Express, Olson Oil Card Express, American Legion Post 30, The Viking Cafe, FM Bank of Fergus Falls, Olson Funeral and Cremation Service, and American Federal Bank. Let's take you live with Jason Retzlaff in the call.
Well, thank you, Chuck Ahmet. Good afternoon, everyone, and we are live from steamy and hot Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, where today we have the second round of the 2024 Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. Fergus Falls Post 30 in action here this afternoon. Jason Retzlaff with you here this afternoon on the broadcast. And, man, last night we had quite a game where Fergus Falls Post 30, the first Legion team out of Fergus Falls to make it in 64 years. The last time was 1960, and they had quite a win, defeating the host school, Bloomington. 9-8 was the final. It did not get off to a good start. Bloomington scored 6 runs in the top of the first. A couple of errors hurt Fergus Falls in that one. Post 30 got a run back with a leadoff single and a run scored by Caleb Froning in the bottom of the first, but then 2 more runs for Bloomington in the third, and Fergus Falls had 9 consecutive players retired. It was 8-1 and was not looking good, but then Post 30 got it going, got runners on base right away, and Micah Johnson with a huge 3-run triple to clear the bases to make it 8-4, and eventually scoring 6 runs in that fourth inning to make it 8-7. Then in the fifth inning, after getting the first two men on base and getting second and third with nobody out, a pair of strikeouts, and it was up to Holden Stenstrom to get the big hit on a full count and 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Ripped a 2-out double into the gap, a 2-run double, I should say, into the gap to give Fergus Falls the lead. And then the star on the mound yesterday was Caleb Froning. He came in the fourth inning. He finished out the game with 4 innings of work. 3 of those 4 innings were 1-2-3 innings, and had no earned runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, including a 1-2-3 seventh inning to close out a dramatic victory for Fergus Falls Post 30. And they are on to this second round in this double elimination tournament against a very good opponent, New Ulm. Fergus Falls is 20-5 now on the year, and New Ulm is 25-6. They're the sub-state G champions. And yesterday they knocked off a very good Chanhassen team 8-4. They got down. Chanhassen scored 3 on them right away in the top of the first, but then they tied it back up in the second inning and then scored 4 in the fourth to take control of the game, led 7-3, and ended up winning 8-4. We don't have much information on New Ulm. I was just given their lineup about 10-15 minutes ago, and they on the mound. They will have their starting pitcher be Dirk Haynes. As far as for Fergus Falls Post 30, it's going to be Isaiah Holmes starting, and Isaiah was injured the first half of the summer and hasn't had a lot of action with the Junior Legion team, though he did in the second half of the summer pitch 15 innings with the Senior League. So he hasn't pitched any at all this year for Post 30, but has pitched in the Senior Legion team, and Coach Shane Tilke looking to get a good effort out of Isaiah Holmes in this one. Now Post 30, Fergus Falls Post 30, they've had a habit of coming from behind. In their sub-state tournament in Thief River Falls, they had to win 4 games to get here. They were behind in 3 out of those 4 games, came back to win, and then, of course, the wild one yesterday. So they're hoping to make it a little less stressful today and get off to a better start, not be in the hole right away, and we'll see if that can come into play here this afternoon. Right now, Post 30 out, taking some infield with Coach Shane Tilke. Again, hot day. We do have a bit of a breeze, which is helpful, but it's 91 degrees. It's supposed to get up to 93 here this afternoon, and the sun is out. It's going to be a hot one, but players, I'm sure, are all hydrated up, a lot of water, and ready to go. Excited to play here today. Now, the winner of this game will be done for the day. Again, it's a double elimination tournament. So let's talk about what would happen, win, lose, how how it all plays out. The games earlier today, in fact, the first round games yesterday, let's go through those. Becker over Stillwater 4-3. Then it was Farmington over Excelsior Blue 15-7. New Ulm beat Chanhassen, as we mentioned, 8-4. And then it was Fergus Falls 9, Bloomington 8. Then last night, after the Fergus Falls Bloomington game, they had the first elimination bracket game. That was between Stillwater and Excelsior Blue. Stillwater won that one 8-4. So Excelsior Blue was eliminated last night. Then this morning at 9 o'clock in round 2 in the winners bracket, it was Becker over Farmington in a great game, 12-11. Becker advances. Farmington goes to the elimination bracket. Then in the elimination bracket just before us, it was Chanhassen and Bloomington in a real close one, low scoring. Chanhassen beat Bloomington 3-2 in that one. So Bloomington was eliminated just a little bit ago. And Chanhassen, with that win, moves on to play Farmington in the elimination bracket tonight at 7 o'clock. Now, with Fergus Falls versus New Ulm here in a few minutes, the winner will move on. The winner will be done today and will move on to play tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. against Becker. The loser of this game will play right away. After this game, and that will be against Stillwater, who beat Excelsior Blue last night. To continue on, and that would be on the schedule. We're running a little bit behind here this afternoon, but the schedule has it at 4:30 today. So if Fergus Falls would win today, they're done today, and we'll come back with coverage tomorrow at 11:30 in the winners bracket. If they lose this one, we'll take a 20-minute break in between games and come back and have the the game that would be against Stillwater scheduled for a 4:30 start. So depending on how it goes, depends on what time and part of the bracket that Fergus Falls Post 30 would move on to. Well, we're going to take a break here as the pregame show continues here. We're at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, and after a big win, Fergus Falls Post 30 hoping to keep that good momentum going against a very good New Ulm team. So we're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll have more on the pregame show in just a moment.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at pemlaw.com.
Back here in Bloomington, the Division I Junior Legion State Tournament here at Red Haddocks Field. Nice place to play some ball, and a good atmosphere last night with Fergus Falls' victory over Bloomington 9-8. And the opponents for Fergus Falls is New Ulm, and let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's New Ulm post 132. Their head coach is Mike Anderson. They come into this game as the Sub-State G champions, 25-6 on the year, and defeated Chanhassen yesterday 8-4. So their starting lineup, their leadoff batter, the center fielder, number 5, Zach Hubbard. Batting second, the second baseman, number 1, Cohen Domeyer. Batting third will be the catcher, number 3, Kyle Albrecht. In the cleanup spot, first baseman, number 13, Elliot Shabert. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 14, Parker Neubauer. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 16, Tanner Backer. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 4, Ryan Rathman. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 12, Hunter Larson. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 6, Camden Briggs. And on the mound for New Ulm will be number 11, Dirk Haynes. And again, we won't have won't have any scouting report or information. Kind of tough to find information. Thanks to Coach Shane Tilke. He loaded me up with all the information I would want. So we're going to have some batting average totals, statistic totals on the pitching and the hitting side. So really appreciate all the work he put in to get us some numbers and have some information for everyone. So appreciate that. Well, one of the sponsors for the game, and I stayed there last night, as did the Fergus Falls American Legion team, and we stayed at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. It was a great place to stay and a great place to go if you're heading to the cities for whatever it might be, for fun, sporting event, family getaway, and make your reservations at the Holiday Inn Express Suites and Mall of America, conveniently located in the heart of Bloomington, just a few minutes away from the Mall of America and the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Free breakfast in the morning with their signature cinnamon rolls, and take their free 24/7 shuttle for shopping at the mall or to catch your flight at the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America in Bloomington. Well, we're going to take another time out here. When we come back, we'll go through the Fergus Falls post 30 starting lineup, head coach Shane Tilke. So let's take a timeout, 30-second timeout, and we'll be back with the Fergus Falls starting lineup after this break.
Cravings. We all get them, and right now you're craving food from the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking, and guess what? We are here to help. We can satisfy those cravings right now. Just come on down, grab a booth, a table or a stool, order what you're craving from one of our amazing staff, and ta-da, your craving is satisfied. From our scratch-made breakfasts and lunches at the Viking, we pride ourselves on our food, our service, and taking care of your cravings. So come on in and see us at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
New Ulm is on the field, getting their warm-up and infield. Fergus Falls already done with their session, so it shouldn't be too long before they get going with their starting lineups and we have our first pitch. It is the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, and first time in 64 years a Fergus Falls Legion team has made it to state, and they started off with a bang with a great comeback win last night against the host team Bloomington, 9-8, overcoming an 8-1 deficit in the fourth inning to win that one. Let's take a look, though, at the Fergus Falls post 30 starting lineup this afternoon. And the leadoff batter, the second baseman, number 14, Caleb Froning. Batting second will be the shortstop, number 2, Cam Wiedrich. Batting third, designated hitter, number 7, Brody Krine. Cleanup, the catcher, number 13, Brant Sherman. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 4, Micah Johnson. Center fielder, number 1, Parker Tilke. Batting seventh, third baseman, number 3, Nolan Fellstuhl. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 8, Holden Stenstrom. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 10, Jacob Froning. And towing the rubber today will be number 9, Isaiah Holmes. And mentioned that Isaiah has not pitched for the Junior Legion team this year. He did play a bit on the Senior Legion team, pitched 15 innings with the Senior League. He was injured the first half of the year, which is why he hasn't seen much action this summer for the Junior Legion team, but he's ready to go, ready to get on the mound. And that was one thing, talking to Shane Tilke last night after the game, it worked well enough. It was so huge for Fergus Falls that Caleb Froning came in and pitched lights out for 4 innings. They didn't have to go to another pitcher to be able to preserve Isaiah Holmes. That's what he wanted to have coming into this one, and they got it. And it's just that's the X factor, is you never know what the other team has for pitching, who is available with the pitch count regulations. That's why it's a little tricky to try to compare scores with common opponents, because whatever the pitching situation for each team and who's available is such a big factor in what the final score obviously will be. So hard to necessarily sort all that out. But looking forward to see Isaiah Holmes on the mound. For Fergus Falls, it'll be Dirk Haynes on the mound for New Ulm here this afternoon. Take another time out. Back with more on the pregame show. Hoping to have the first pitch coming up in just a few moments here. It's Fergus Falls post 30 versus New Ulm post 132 in round 2 of the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. And back with more after this.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, two names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. Two local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. Two funeral homes, one common mission in Fergus Falls.
Back here with New Ulm finishing up their infield practice, and they should be introducing their starting lineups very soon here. And let's take a look real quick some of the performances last night for Fergus Falls Post 30 in that 9-8 win. Two of the big hits. Micah Johnson had a huge hit with the bases loaded in the fourth inning, down 8-1. He had a 3-run triple to left field that really quickly made things from bleak to very interesting. And Fergus Falls, after that Micah Johnson 3-run triple, got a 2-run single from Nolan Fellstuhl, and they scored 6 runs in that fourth inning to make it 8-7. Caleb Froning had already pitched an inning, and he continued to shut down the only little threat they had against Froning. He gave up a walk and a single, so they had first and second with 2 out in the fifth, but got Cole Peterson to fly out to end the inning. Then in the fifth inning, trailing 8-7, Brant Sherman led off with a single. Then Micah Johnson walked. Isaiah Holmes came in as a courtesy runner for Sherman, and quickly stole second. Micah Johnson walked. Then they stole second and third, so it looked pretty good. Second and third, nobody out, but then Parker Tilke struck out, Nolan Fellstuhl struck out, and it all came down to Holden Stenstrom with second and third and 2 outs. And wouldn't you know, the count went to full, and Stenstrom got just a huge hit of the game, a 2-out, 2-run double into the left field gap that gave Fergus Falls the lead, 9-8, and then Caleb Browning's pitching was able to finish it off from there. And the Fergus Falls defense really struggled early in the game. 3 errors in the first 2 innings, and then didn't have an error from there on out. So hopefully the defense continues on from where they were later in the game yesterday. But some of the performances yesterday: Micah Johnson at the plate was 1 for 2 with a triple, a walk, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base. Caleb Froning was 2 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, and a stolen base. Cam Wiedrich 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Nolan Fellstuhl 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And then, as we mentioned, Holden Stenstrom had the big hit. He was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. And Caleb Froning pitched. We had Parker Tilke pitch the first inning, and Parker had a little bit of a tough luck scenario where the first few batters got on some seeing eye grounders. Then there's a hit by a pitch, and then they got a few big hits on him, but the defense was not supportive. A couple unearned runs in there when they scored 6 runs in that first inning. Then Brody Crine came in and pitched a second and third, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and a strikeout, but then Caleb Froning really had it going, pitched the final 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 3 of those 4 innings were 1-2-3 innings, and that led the way for Fergus Falls to the victory, 9-8. Well, coaches Shane Tilke and Mike Anderson at home plate with the umpires going over a few things. And we're getting closer. I promise it's going to happen here pretty soon. But we'll have the opening pitch here in just a few minutes. Let's take another quick timeout as the pregame show continues here from Bloomington. Fergus Falls versus New Ulm, round 2 of the Junior Legion State Tournament here in Bloomington. Back with more after this.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you in the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Ryan Welly from Fergus Falls Monument talks about why pre-planning is so important.
How beneficial it is for while you're still alive to do your pre-planning, whether it's your funeral planning, memorial planning, those type of things. It's so difficult for the family to make those decisions after the fact, especially for a spouse that's living still. They're already going through so much, and then to have to try to make these decisions on their own is so difficult.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Back here in Bloomington, Fergus Falls versus New Ulm right here on Channel 977 FM in round 2 of the Junior Legion State Tournament. Still discussion going on out at home plate with the umpires and coaches. Isaiah Holmes will be on the mound. Now Fergus Falls is going to be the home team again. They were the home team even though they were at Bloomington at the host school. There's a coin flip before each game, and Fergus Falls won the coin flip. They won it here today as well, so Fergus Falls will be the home team on the scoreboard. This is a good New Ulm team as I was getting set up, prepping to do the Fergus Falls Bloomington game last night. They were playing Chanhassen as it was going on. Really some impressive players. Hit the ball hard. They were aggressive on the base paths. They got down 3-0 right away to Chanhassen, but weren't phased. Scored 3 runs in the bottom of the second, and then got 4 in the 4th inning to take a 7-3 lead and be able to be in total control from that point. So it's going to be a tough challenge here for Fergus Falls, but again, we don't have a whole lot of information on their specific stats and some of their numbers. We do have some, thanks to Shane Tilke for Fergus Falls. I tried to adjust them briefly after last night's game. The leading batting average man by a single point is Brent Sherman. And Brent with a batting average of .395. Brent Sherman, the catcher, batting .395, and only a point behind in the batting average total is third baseman Nolan Fellstool at .394. Also, a few more batting average leaders. Brody Krine batting .353, and Jacob Froning is batting .342. The leaders in runs scored. Cam Wiedrich leading the way with 27 runs scored. Jacob Froning with 23 runs scored. And Micah Johnson has 20, and Caleb Froning with 18. And the RBI totals, Brody Krine is the leader with 28 RBIs. He leads by quite a bit. Then it's after him, it's Brant Sherman. And Brant Sherman has, did I get that right? Yeah, Brant Sherman has 18 RBIs. Nolan passed him yesterday, so Nolan has 19 RBIs, Nolan Fellstool. And then Holden Stenstrom added a couple big ones yesterday. He's got 17 RBIs as well. And Caleb Froning picked up his team leading 17th stolen base yesterday. And Cam Wiedrich second on the team in steals with 14. And Jacob Froning has 12. So some of the leaders for Fergus Falls post 30 is statistically coming into this one. So they just did the starting lineups here for both teams. So we're going to take one final 30-second timeout. And when we return, time to play ball. It's going to be Fergus Falls versus New Ulm, round 2 of the Junior Legion State Tournament. So we'll take one final break, and we'll be back with the first pitch after this.
It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gates clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
All right, Fergus Falls Post 30 has taken the field. Number 9, Isaiah Holmes on the mound, just starting his last few warm-up pitches before we get rolling here. Again, out on the field for Fergus Falls, Isaiah Holmes is pitching. His battery mate is Brant Sherman, number 13, the catcher. Over at first base is number 8, Holden Stenstrom. The second baseman, number 14, Caleb Froning. Shortstop, or we'll go over to third, and number 3, Nolan Fellstuhl. Shortstop, number 2, Cam Wiedrich. Left fielder at number 10, Jacob Froning. Center fielder, number 1, Parker Tilke. And right fielder, number 4, Micah Johnson. The DH in this one is going to be number 7, Brody Crine, who bats third in the order for Fergus Falls. And just remember, winner of this game will play Becker tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. And the loser of this game will just take a 20-minute break, half-an-hour break, and come right back in the elimination bracket. And that game would be against Stillwater. So Fergus Falls hoping to be playing their next game tomorrow. They got a tough challenge here with New Ulm as we are ready to go. As the center fielder, number 5, Zach Hubbard, steps into the plate to lead things off for New Ulm. And Isaiah Holmes is ready to go. And he winds and delivers, and that's a strike on the outside corner to start things off in this one. Isaiah was fun to watch as a courtesy runner yesterday, coming in and causing some problems. There's a high pop-up in the infield. Fellstuhl is in and takes care of it. One down right off the bat. Holmes gets Hubbard to pop up. Fellstuhl comes in and puts it away. And when there's one down here in the top of the first. And that'll bring up the second baseman, number 1, Cohen Domeyer. And Holmes winds and delivers to Domeyer. That's up and in for a ball, 1-0. New Ulm 25-6 on the year coming into this one as Holmes delivers low, and that's 2-0. Fergus Falls has an 8-game win streak dating back to the regular season. Won their last 3 regular season games, won 4 in the sub-state tournament, and then yesterday, 8-game win streak and a 20-5 record. Next offering is low, so 3-0 is the count here to Cohen Domeyer. And Holmes looking to get one in the strike zone here, and he does. Domeyer took that little step towards first, and the ump said, not quite yet. That was in for a strike, so it's 3-1. Catcher Kyle Albrecht is on deck for New Ulm. A 3-1 pitch on the way from Holmes. Swing and a miss. Took a little bit off that one, and now it's a full count, 3-2 to Cohen Domeyer. It's 91 degrees right now. Going to get a few ticks warmer. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Kind of a check swing, but he definitely went. Cohen Domeyer, and great comeback there by Isaiah Holmes. Starting off that batter 3-0. Got a strike on the outside corner and then a pair of swinging strikes. And there's 2 down and nobody out here in the top of the first. Catcher Kyle Albrecht is the number 3 batter for New Ulm. Holmes ready. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. That's what Fergus Falls looking for. They have not got off to good starts in their recent games. And Holmes delivers just a little bit outside, 1-1. And that would be a boost to not have to, eventually you get behind. It's hard to climb that mountain every time. Yesterday was it was a big mountain as the 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. And keep putting yourself in a hole you're not going to be able to dig out every time. So let's see if Fergus can put up a 0 right away. There's a line drive towards the gap. That's going to be in for a hit, maybe extra bases. Trying to cut it off is Parker Tilke, and they go to second, and sliding in safely for a double is Kyle Albrecht. Yeah, Tilke had a tough play to try to backhand it on the move. He didn't field it cleanly enough, and that allowed Albrecht to get to second base with a double. So runner in scoring position here now for New Ulm, and their cleanup hitter is at the plate, and it's Elliot Schabert at the plate. Courtesy runner coming in for New Ulm, swing and a miss, strike one to Schabert. Spencer Drill is the courtesy runner for the catcher, Kyle Albrecht. So 0-1, runner at second, top of the first, 2 outs. Here's Holmes' delivery, and just off the plate, 1-1. Thankfully, there's a little bit of a breeze here, about 8-9 mile per hour breeze, helping things out with the heat. There's a line drive right side and off the glove of the second baseman over to first, but they get the out anyway. That was Caleb Froning. It was a line drive, leapt in the air, maybe barely mistimed the jump. It went off his glove, but the ball was hit so hard he was able to pick it up off a bounce, throw it over to Stenstrom, and retire Elliot Schabert. So Isaiah Holmes puts up a 0 on the board. Here in the top of the first, good start for Fergus Falls post 30. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Going to the bottom of the first, no score here in Bloomington. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Good start for post 30, Fergus Falls. No runs for New Ulm in the top of the first. And it is now Dirk Haynes taking the mound for New Ulm. It's New Ulm post 132. And leading off for Fergus Falls will be the second baseman, Caleb Froning. Caleb yesterday had a nice day. He was 2 for 3. With a walk, a run, and a stolen base in the game. And, of course, was a pitching star with 4 shutout innings in relief to get the win and to close out the host team, Bloomington, last night. Haynes makes his final warm-up pitch, and Froning ready to step in. It'll be Caleb Froning, Cam Wiedrich, Brody Krine in the order here coming up in the bottom of the first for Fergus Falls. No score.
Leading off for Fergus Falls.
And Caleb Froning steps in, trying to see if he can get something going here right away for post 30. And Haynes winds, and here's the first pitch from Haynes on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Froning batting .353 on the year, 18 runs scored, and 11 driven in. Here's the pitch from Haynes, low and away in the dirt. It's 1-1. Catcher for New Ulm is number 3, Kyle Albrecht, working with Haynes here in the early going. And Haynes winds and delivers a 1-1 pitch. Hard ground ball towards the hole. That's into left field for a base hit. And Caleb was right on top of that one. Hard ground ball that shortstop Ryan Rathman couldn't get to in between third and short. And it's a leadoff single for Caleb Froning, and that'll bring up Cam Wiedrich, the shortstop. And Wiedrich on the season, batting .325. He leads Fergus Falls on the season with 27 runs scored, and he's driven in a dozen. No score, bottom of the first. Fergus Falls with their leadoff man on, nobody out, and Wiedrich at the plate. Here's the pitch, and Froning is on the move. Here's the throw down. The second throw is high, stolen base for Caleb. He had a steal yesterday, gets another one today. So Caleb Froning with his team leading 18th stolen base. He's only been caught once this year, or this summer. so he's 18 of 19. Great job on the base pass. He gets in scoring position. And it's 1-0 with a count to Wiedrich. And nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Now Haynes at the set and delivers a fastball outside. And it'll be 2-0. Brody Crine on deck for Fergus Falls. And Haynes goes to the set. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for a strike fastball. That brings the count to 2-1. Pretty good first inning for Isaiah Holmes. Again, putting that 0. Didn't have a pitch count as such a big thing. Didn't rack up a lot of pitches. Good start. See if Fergus Falls can put some runs on the board. There's a line drive. Base hit left field. And coming around and being waved home is Froning. And he is going to score a wild throw home. Missed the cutoff man. Is going to allow Wiedrich to go into second. And a good start for Fergus Falls. Caleb Froning steals second, gets in scoring position, comes around to score. And Cam Wiedrich delivers an RBI single, gets the second on the throw. So 1-0 Fergus Falls with the early lead. And Brody Crine, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Brody was 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI yesterday. And Wiedrich takes his lead at second. Here's the pitch from Haynes. That is over Crine's head as he ducks below the ball on an off-speed pitch, 1-0. Brody Crine steps in. It's 1-0, and the pitch, that's outside, 2-0. Brody on the year, batting .353. Leads the team in RBIs with 28. 811 OPS, 12 runs scored. And it's 2-0. And here's the pitch. That one's low, 3-0. So we'll see if Brody's got the green light or a take signal here on 3-0, runner at second. And nobody out. Fergus Falls leading 1-0, and that's high. 4-pitch walk to Brody Crine. And Fergus Falls in business here with a run in, 2 on, nobody out.
Catcher number 13, Brett Sherman.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Brant Sherman. And already a discussion out of the mound. Mike Anderson coming out to talk to his pitcher, Dirk Haynes. So Anderson out to talk things over. And early on, Haynes has gotten behind the batters. Fergus Falls has taken advantage and able to sit on some good pitches coming into the zone with a couple base hits, and then Crine draws the walk. So first and second, nobody out. Bottom of the first, Fergus Falls has a run in. They lead it 1-0 in round 2 of the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. Both these teams winning yesterday to get to this point. It's a double elimination tournament. So the loser of this game still alive, but makes it a lot more difficult. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be a strike on the outside corner to Brant Sherman, 0-1. Brant Sherman on the year, batting .395, leading the team. 15 runs scored, 18 driven in, and leads the team in OPS, .998. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Haynes. That's low and away. Good scoop there by catcher Kyle Albrecht to keep the runners where they're at. And it's 1-1. Wiedrich at second, Crine at first. 1-1 pitch coming to Sherman. Swing, there's a hard grounder to third. It goes off the third baseman's glove. That's Briggs over at third. Everyone's going to be safe on the air, and now the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out. So I would suspect that's going to be an error. It was well hit, but a play that went right to Camden Briggs, and he didn't make the play. No, they looked like they put up a hit on the board. Nope, now they're taking it off. Yeah, that was going to be an error, and it'll be E5 on that one. And Ethan Swedberg comes in as the courtesy runner for Brant Sherman. So bases loaded, and nobody out as Micah Johnson takes a strike on the outside corner. Well, Micah Johnson had a big hit with the bases loaded last night, a 3-run triple in the 4th inning. It was huge. There's a ground ball up the middle and picked up. Steps on second for one, over to first, and that was a tailor-made double play. Run scores as Wiedrich comes in to score. Krein advances to third, but they're now 2 down. Micah hit it right up the middle, and Rathman literally moving over towards second base to pick it up, to field the ground ball, stepped on second, and it was an easy double play. So a 6-3 double play. And here is Parker Tilke. Tilke pops it up right side and straddling foul territory. Oh, it's going to be in fair territory. Making the catch is Elliot Schabert. And that'll do it for Fergus Falls in the first. Good inning. They got a couple. They wanted more than that a bit, but a good first inning. And Fergus Falls getting off to a good start, something they haven't been able to do in recent games. They lead it 2-0 after one. They score 2 runs on 2 hits. There's 1 error and 1 left on base. On the way to the second inning, Fergus Falls leading New Ulm 2-0. Back with more after this.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at pemlaw.com.
After the game's over, Pemberton Law will sponsor our post-game report after the game. And depending on how this one goes, it might be a quicker one if Fergus Falls comes up short, because they'll be playing. We'll have to take a break and come back after that. But they can keep things going here. They won't have to play till tomorrow if they win this one. The winner moves on to play Becker tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning, and the losing team will play immediately after this afternoon at the 4:30 scheduled time, or as soon as they get everything ready to play Stillwater, who beat Excelsior Blue in the elimination bracket last night 8-4. So Isaiah Holmes back on the mound, and leading off for New Ulm is the left fielder Parker Neubauer. And here's the first pitch, and a little bit low, 1-0. So Fergus Falls a couple runs in that bottom of the first. Lead it 2-0. And the second delivery from Holmes is low and in, 2-0. Neubauer, the left fielder, ready to go. Here's the pitch. And that one's low and outside, so 3-0. Well, Holmes got behind Cohen Domeyer 3-0. Second batter of the game, but came back and struck him out. See if he can recover here against Neubauer. Here's the pitch. And that does catch the outside corner. So 3 balls and a strike to Neubauer. Holmes working good and fast, ready to go. And here's the pitch. That's in there. So right down the pipe. 3-2, full count. 1 pitch away from doing it again if he can get a good pitch here with Neubauer. Come back from a 3-0 count. Tanner Backer, the designated hitter, is on deck. And there's a quick delay here as looks like some baseballs got onto the field on the down the first baseline, but we're ready to go again. Full count to Neubauer leading off the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, ranging to his left. Not able to handle it is Wiedrich, goes off his glove, and able to reach will be Parker Neubauer. And I would suspect that would, if I'm guessing, that's going to be an error. Yeah, it will be an error. A little tougher play than the error that New Ulm had, but a play that I think Cam thinks he should make, and it will be an E6 to start off the second inning. Now Tanner Backer, the designated hitter, up for New Ulm, and he takes it outside for a ball, 1-0. Neubauer at first takes his lead, and Backer at the plate, lefty. Here's the pitch, swinging a chopped foul, and in between the New Ulm dugout and their first base coach. A ball and a strike now to Tanner Backer. Shortstop Ryan Rathman is on deck for New Ulm. Get a temperature check here again. It's a steamy one here. Here's a pitch that's fouled off. Now it's 1-2 to Tanner Backer. Yeah, currently it's 91 degrees. It says it feels like 96. The wind at 11 miles per hour. Thank goodness for that. So here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing, that's fouled off again. Backer and Holmes battling here. The top of the second, Fergus Falls leading New Ulm 2-0. Runner at first, nobody out. Parker Neubauer reached on an error to lead off the inning. And here's the set and the pitch from Holmes. Swing and a miss. Got Backer maybe a little bit up in the zone, but pitch he had to swing at, and that's the second strikeout of the game for Isaiah Holmes. One out, runner at first. And to the plate is the shortstop, number 4, Ryan Rathman. So Holmes to the set and the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Good for Isaiah to get ahead. He's been working from behind a little bit here to start off. He's up 0-1 on the count with Rathman. Neubauer at first. They throw over to first. He gets back. On deck for New Ulm is the right fielder, Hunter Larson. So one down, runner at first, 0-1 count to Ryan Rathman. Now the runner goes. The pitch is high, throw down to second. He got a great jump, and it's going to be an easy stolen base for Parker Neubauer. He was slowly kind of starting the jog before Isaiah delivered. If Isaiah would have thrown over, probably would have had him picked off. But a stolen base for Neubauer. And it's a 1-1 count to Rathman. And here's the pitch. That's a strike. Nice pitch there by Holmes, painting the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Isaiah with a pair of strikeouts, looking for another one here on the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off down the right field line and out of play. Count stays at 1-2. Rathman, the number 7 batter in the order, steps in. Holmes ready to the set and the pitch. And just a little high. Just barely up in the zone, and that'll bring the count to 2-2. 2-0, Fergus Falls with the lead. Runner at second, one out. Top of the second, New Ulm at the plate. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And he took a little bit off of that one, and Rathman couldn't make contact. So consecutive strikeouts for Ryan Rathman, for Isaiah Holmes as he strikes out Ryan Rathman.
The right fielder, number 12, Hunter.
And that'll bring up the number 8 batter, right fielder, number 12, Hunter Larson. Runner in scoring position is Neubauer at second. And here's the pitch from Holmes. Swing and a miss. A little bit up and in. Went for it. Couldn't get a piece of it. And it's 0-1. Holmes throwing hard. Looking good here. He goes to the set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's low. 1-1. Neubauer led off the inning, got on an error, stole second, but then since then, Holmes struck out the next 2 batters. And here's the 1-1 pitch to Larson. Fouled back, out of play, and it's 1-2. So, Isaiah, a strike away from striking out the side. He's got 3 strikeouts in the game already. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing chop to the right side. It's fielded by the first baseman, Holden Centrum. Easy step on the bag, and that will retire New Ulm here in the top of the second inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Fergus Falls 2 and New Ulm nothing.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists, checking things off the list. Like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane for the grill, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks. And they got the snacks and Gatorade, too. And fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Fur Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Great start for Isaiah Holmes. Put up 2 zeros on the put up 2 New Ulm zeros in his first 2 innings. So Isaiah now 2 innings pitched and has only given up 1 hit with no earned runs and 3 strikeouts in the game. And Fergus Falls coming to the plate. They scored 2 in the first, and their 7-8-9 batters will be to the plate. It's Fellstuhl, Stenstrom, and Jacob Froning, and Nolan Fellstuhl, the third baseman, will lead things off against Dirk Haynes, pitcher. Fergus scored 2 in the top of the first, but a double play and a pop-out squashed what could have been more. And Fellstuhl, off-speed pitch, fouls it off the net behind 0-1. So Haynes in that first inning, 1 inning, 2 earned runs, a pair of hits, and a walk, no strikeouts. And it's 0-1 to Nolan Fellstuhl, and he takes it just on the outside corner for a strike curveball. So it's 0-2. Nolan had a big 2-out single in that fourth inning, a big 2-run single in that fourth inning, and Fellstuhl takes that for a ball. That was a very similar pitch to the previous one, just a fraction farther outside. That shows you how close the previous one was, and it's 1-2. And Dirk Haynes with a 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball outside. 2-2. Fergus Falls trying to get that leadoff runner on again. Nolan Fellstuhl, the third baseman. And the pitch, that's inside. Now he's come back after being down 0-2 to a full count. Fellstuhl batting .394, one of the top batting average guys on Fergus Falls, 19 driven in, 16 runs. And here's the 3-2 pitch, hard ground ball to second, picked up, and plenty of time, throw over to first. It goes from Domeyer to Schaebert, and Nolan Fellstuhl is retired 4-3 for the first out of the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up first baseman number 8, Holden Stenstrom. Biggest hit of the game last night. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth, down a run, and a full count. Runners at second and third, and Stenstrom 2-out double to give Fergus Falls the lead, the game-winning RBI. And Stenstrom steps in. Curveball is high, 1-0. Stenstrom batting .254 on the year, driven in 17, scored 12 times. A 1-0 pitch coming from Haynes, and it is popped foul literally over my head but behind me and out of play. And it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. So Stenstrom yesterday 1 for 3 with that double and 2 RBIs. That was a bullet to the left center field gap. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's high. 2-1. On deck for Fergus Falls is the left fielder Jacob Froning. Yeah, 91 degrees. I'm outside here. They got me set up on a table. And Stenstrom chased a pitch up and in the zone and fouled it off. Would have been ball 3, but it'll be 2-2. Got an umbrella here and a fan blowing right in my face. We're hanging in here with this heat, and I'm sure the players they're right in the middle of the sun out there. Here's the pitch, and good job by Stenstrom fighting that one off. Out of play. Still 2-2. Fergus Falls 2, New Ulm nothing. We're in the bottom of the second. Fergus Falls the home team here in Bloomington at Red Haddocks Field. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing ground ball towards third. Scooped up by Briggs across. Oh, no, he bobbled it. And it's going to be an error. There's my broadcasting, a little bit of a broadcasting error. I looked quick down to get the name of the third baseman, and it really was not going to be a difficult play. And when my head went down to look for the name, he bobbled it. And a good break for Fergus Falls. E5 on the play, and that's the second error in the game for Camden Briggs. And that allows Stenstrom to get to first with 1 out. And Jacob Froning, the left fielder, at the plate. And they throw over to first, and Stenstrom gets back. Jacob Froning on the year batting .342. Second in runs scored with 23. And 9 driven in. He fouls it back off the net. And it's 1-1. Lineup will turn around the bend here with Caleb Froning on deck, the leadoff hitter who singled and scored in the first. And here's the pitch to Froning. Catches the outside corner of the fastball, and it's 0-2, excuse me. So no balls and 2 strikes. Stenstrom at first. 1 out. And Dirk Haynes, the pitcher, trying to get his first strikeout of the game. Now he steps off. Now Haynes to the set. And he comes to the plate. Ground ball to second. Could be two. They go to second for one. Relay to first, and not in time. Good job by Jacob Froning hustling down the line to beat that out and avoid the double play. So the force at second retires Stenstrom, and Jacob Froning will be at first now with 2 outs, and Caleb Froning to the plate. And this is the part of the lineup that got it going in the first. Caleb Froning, Cam Wiedrich started off the game with 2 well-struck base hits. Caleb actually stole second, came around to score on Wiedrich's base hit. So here's the pitch to Froning in the dirt. Great job there by Kyle Albrecht stopping that one and keeping Jacob Froning at first. So Caleb Froning in the first inning singled, stole second, and scored. He continues to have a great tournament after the pitching performance and hitting yesterday. What a job he's done so far. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Nice easy hop to Rathman across to first. And it retires the speedy Froning. 6-3 on the putout. So Fergus Falls comes up empty in the second. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. We're through 2 innings. It's Fergus Falls 2 and New Ulm nothing.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement. Our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here in Bloomington, and thanks to the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Mall of America, where I stayed last night, and the Legion Junior team stayed as well last night. Great rooms and a great spot right next to Mall of America, and they want you to come down and stay if you're heading to the Twin Cities for any type of trip, for any type of fun, or any type of event. Stay at the Holiday Inn Express Suites of Mall of America, located within minutes of the Mall of America and very close to the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Free breakfast, 24 hour, 7-day-a-week shuttle for shopping at the mall or a trip to the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Mall of America. All right, strong first 2 innings for Isaiah Holmes, and he'll start off the third, and the first pitch, swing and a miss. Strike Camden Briggs, the third baseman, at the plate. Isaiah has 3 strikeouts and 2 scoreless innings to start this game, and he's ready to go again. Pitch, there's a line drive right side. That finds the hole for a base hit. So Briggs does a good job. Pretty good pitch by Holmes, just off the on the outside or just off the outside corner, and Briggs just went with it to right field for a hit. I'm sure New Ulm likes getting their number 9 batter to lead off with a single, and that'll bring up Zach Hubbard, the center fielder, who's 0 for 1. He popped to third in his first at-bat in the first inning. So here's the pitch from Holmes, swing and a miss. Took a little bit off that one. 0-1. Camden Briggs is at first base, where Holden Stenstrom is holding him on. Isaiah Holmes to the set. Here's the pitch, and it's just a little bit high, and it's 1-1. We're in the top of the third. Fergus Falls 2, New Ulm nothing here. As Holmes is ready and delivers. There's foul ball, chopped it off his foot, and foul, 1-2 to Zach Hubbard. So the count is 1-2. Briggs is at first, nobody out, top of the third, and Holmes delivers. That's low and away, and it gets by Sherman, and that will allow Briggs to easily advance to second base on the wild pitch. So now a runner in scoring position, nobody out for New Ulm, and the count is 2-2 to Zach Hubbard. So here's the 2-2 pitch to Hubbard, and strike 3 right on the inside corner. A little delayed call from the ump, but give Isaiah Holmes strikeout number 4. That was a beauty. Just painted the inside corner of the plate, and he goes down looking. That'll bring up Cohen Domeyer, the second baseman. And pitch from Holmes, low and in, 1-0. Domeyer struck out swinging in the first. Camden Briggs is at second for New Ulm, 1 out. Fergus Falls leading 2-0, top of the third. And here's the pitch from Holmes. That's low and away. Now that gets by Sherman, and trotting over to third is Briggs. Now that one was a pass ball, as that one was not in the dirt. It was a little bit low, but one that Sherman probably should have had. So Briggs with a single gets to second on a wild pitch, and then gets to third on a pass ball. So runner at third with 1 out, and a 2-0 count to Domeyer, and that one's high. So 3-0. In fact, Domeyer was ahead 3-0 his first time up when Holmes came back to strike him out, but it's not going to happen this time. That one's outside, and that will be the first walk of the game for Isaiah Holmes. And now New Ulm posing a pretty good threat here in the top of the third. They have runners at the corners and 1 out, and their number 3 batter, Kyle Albrecht, at the plate. He's the catcher, and he's 1 for 1. Ripped a double, but was stranded his first time up. So Holmes trying to work out of some trouble here. And here's the pitch. And that one's low. 1-0. Domeyer at first. Briggs at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that catches the outside corner for a strike. Much needed strike there for Holmes. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. As Kyle Albrecht steps in. 2-0, Fergus Falls leading here, top of the third. And the pitch. And trying to, heading to second, and Fergus Falls not even attempting to throw down there. And stealing second base is Domeyer. A little bit of a delayed steal to see if they'd throw with a runner at third. Fergus Falls electing not to throw. So it's now second and third, and a 2-1 pitch to Albrecht. There's a pop foul down the right first baseline, and Stenstrom trying to track it down but couldn't get there in time, and it lands foul, and it'll be 2-2 now to Kyle Albrecht. So big pitch coming up here with second and third, 1 out for New Ulm. Fergus Falls leading 2-0 here in the top of the third, and Albrecht the number 3 batter, and he ripped one his first time up, a double in the gap. So 2-2, Holmes to the set. And he comes to the plate just off the outside corner, and it's now going to be a full count. So 3-2. Holmes ready to work to Albrecht. Cleanup hitter Shabert on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Hard grounder right to third. Pickup. Now they got the man in third and a rundown. They come to the catcher, and now they go back to Friedrich, and he comes in, and he's out at third. Now they got the other runner in a rundown. Oh, the Fergus Falls in business here. Now here they come, chasing him towards third. It goes to the third baseman, and that's going to be a double play to end the inning. Well, now the umpires are going to talk it over here. Yeah, it's going to be a double play to end the inning, and there is no chance for me to tell you what the numbers are going to be. We'll just call it for fun 5-2-6-3-4-1-7 double play. I have no idea, but big base running mistake by New Ulm, as the hard ground ball that came right to Nolan Fellstuhl did a great job of fielding it. Charge went at the runner heading home, and then they were able to tag that runner heading back towards third, and for whatever reason, the runner who was at second and came to third, he started retreating to second, and it was a big error, and they were able to track him down. A double play to end the inning, and we go, and that's no runs on 1 hit and no errors. 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Fergus Falls retains their 2-0 lead. Back with more after this quick break.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists, checking things off the list, like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks. And they got the snacks and Gatorade, too. And fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Burr Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Talk about a big play and a big mistake by New Ulm to let that happen. And a great play by Nolan Fellstuhl. It was second and third with one out in the top of the third. Fergus Falls leading 2-0. And a hard hit ground ball. It's their number 3 batter, one of their top hitters, Kyle Albrecht. Hard ground ball. Fellstuhl did it perfectly. Scooped up the ball, and the runner at third was in no man's land. Charged right at him. Got him in a rundown, got him out in a close play at third, and then the runner who was at second, who went to third, started to retreat, and he should have just stayed at third and sacrificed Briggs, the runner at third. But it was a double play, and Fergus Falls still leading 2-0 as we are in the bottom of the third. And leading off is Cam Wiedrich, and he takes it outside for a ball. 1-0. Dirk Haynes still on the mound for New Ulm. Wiedrich is 1 for 1. With an RBI single and a run scored in the first. And he takes that one low, and it's 2-0. Dirk Haynes, 2 innings pitched so far. Has yet to strike out anyone. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a walk. Here's the pitch, and that is taken for a strike for Wiedrich. And it'll be 2-1. The winner doesn't play again today. The winner will play tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning against Becker. As here's the 2-1 pitch from Haynes. That's just outside, 3-1. And the loser of this game will play Stillwater about 20 minutes to half an hour after the conclusion of this game. 3-1, the pitch from Haynes, and there's a fly ball to center field, and having no need to move hardly at all is the center fielder, Zach Hubbard, and he puts it away for the first out of the third inning. So Cam Wiedrich flies out, and that'll bring up designated hitter Brody Crine. Brody walked his first time. He was stranded in the first inning. And here's the pitch to Crine. Up and in. Almost had to duck just a little bit to get out of the way of that one. It'll be 1-0. Brody walked. That was his 12th walk of the summer. He's tied for second on the team. And he pops it in foul territory, but that's going to be out of play behind the New Ulm dugout on the right side. Fergus Falls on the third base line dugout. As New Ulm on the first base line. And it's 1-1 here now to Brody Crine. 1 out, nobody on. Fergus Falls leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Fergus Falls the home team. And here's the pitch from Haynes. Takes it for a strike. Fastball on the inside corner. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Haynes still looking for his first strikeout. Fergus Falls done a great job of putting the ball in play today. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Haynes. And curveball just off the plate. Count even at 2-2. Brody Crine ready to go. 2-2 count. And the pitch from Haynes. And swinging, there's a pop-up right side. And moving over is the second baseman, and making the catch is Cohen Domeyer. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third as Crine pops out to the second baseman, Domeyer. And that'll bring up Brant Sherman. Sherman reached on an error. He got an RBI, reached on an error. That would have scored a run either way, but should have been an out. And he takes it high, 1-0. And Sherman's RBI in that one was his 19th of the season, one of the leaders on the team. Catcher Brant Sherman, 1-0 pitch. Swing, and he pops that one foul, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. The winner plays Becker, as we mentioned. They beat Farmington at 9 o'clock this morning. Must have been a great game. 12-11 was the final in that one. pitch to Sherman is outside, 2-1. And then the game right before us was the two teams that these two teams beat yesterday, Chanhassen and Bloomington, and went right down to the wire. Chanhassen winning 3-2. Sherman takes it high, and it's now 3-1. So see if he can get on base and get a 2-out rally going. 2 out, nobody on. And the catcher, Brant Sherman, at the plate with a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch from Haynes, and that does catch the inside corner. Turned away from it a bit. It caught the inside corner, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Brant Sherman at the plate. Dirk Haynes on the mound. And Haynes winds and delivers. Line drive right side. That finds some green grass. Base hit for Brant Sherman. So Fergus Falls with a base runner. Not going to go down 1-2-3. And Micah Johnson will get a shot at it. Micah Johnson.
Courtesy runner for Fergus Falls, number 27, Ethan Swickler.
Micah Johnson grounded into a double play in the first inning. Grounded it up the middle, and it was tailor-made for the shortstop to come over, fielded it right next to second base, stepped on the bag, and threw to first. But here's the pitch to Micah. There's a line drive to right center field, and diving, unable to get it is the center fielder, and it gets by him. Sherman heading towards third. He's going to be waved in. Johnson cruises into second, and Sherman comes in to score, and a big 2-out RBI double for Micah Johnson, hitting one to the gap. A risky play that did not pay out for Zach Hubbard. He decided to dive for it, and because he dove, it got by him and allowed Sherman to score all the way around from first base. So an RBI double for Johnson. He's had some big hits here yesterday with a 3-run triple, now a 2-out RBI double. Fergus Falls now leads it 3-0, and they got a runner in scoring position as Parker Tilke fouls the first one off. It's 0-1. So 3-0, bottom of the third. 2-out rally here for Fergus Falls. They had 2 outs, nobody on, but a single by Sherman and an RBI double by Johnson. And now Parker Tilke, who's 0 for 1, popped to first his first time. And there's a curveball in there for a strike. Good pitch there from Haynes. And it's 0-2. So Micah Johnson at second, but Hines is ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch to Tilke. A little bit outside, 1-2. Parker Tilke, the center fielder. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Haynes. That's well outside. And 2-2. Parker, a .311 batting average coming into this game. 14 runs, 14 RBIs, and an .829 OPS. So it's 2-2 now. Micah Johnson at second, 2 down, bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That's outside again. So good job by Tilke battling all the way back down 0-2. It's a full count now. And on deck is Nolan Fellstool. So full count. Dirk Haynes looks in and delivers a pitch. And Tilke fights that one off, fouls it. Deflected, I think, off the catcher, Albrecht, and into play, but it was a foul ball. So it's still a full count. And Haynes to the set. And here's the 3-2 pitch. And that is just outside. Great eye there by Tilke. It wasn't outside by too much, but it was outside. And now another base runner for Fergus Falls. As Tilke
Third baseman, number 3.
gets the walk, and that'll bring up Nolan Fellstool, the third baseman. Nolan's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second in the second inning. And Nolan had a big 2-run single yesterday against Bloomington, and looking for a big 2-out hit here. And the first pitch is up and away. 1-0. Fellstool lefty at the plate. So the Fergus Falls first 2 batters got out, but then a single by Sherman, RBI double by Johnson, and a walk by Tilke. It's 3-0, first and second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a blooper down the left side, hustling over, trying to make the play, and it's just foul. Yeah, a blooper down the left field line. It was Parker Neubauer hustling over to try and make the play, and it just landed probably about 4 or 5 feet foul down the left field line. So that will be a strike and a 1-1 count here now to Nolan Fellstool. Felstool, one of the top batting average guys for Fergus Falls, .394 coming into this game. Would love a hit here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's off speed and high, 2-1. Bottom of the third, a run in for Fergus Falls. They lead it 3-0. And here's the pitch. That's well outside, and it's now 3-1 with Holden Stenstrom on deck. Good at bats all the way around for Fergus Falls. They haven't struck out yet in this game either. A good wind gust here coming up. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss. It deflected off the catcher Albrecht right back out to Haynes, but it'll be a full count here now. Yeah, it deflected off of Albrecht. He shook up a little bit, the catcher. That's not a... Got to respect the job that catchers do and the beating their bodies take. As Albrecht readjusting some equipment here. I'm not sure where he got hit, but lower extremity, and it popped off him and ricocheted back out towards Haynes. He got hit pretty good, but he's ready to go. Get back behind the plate, and it's a full count here now to Nolan Felstool. With runners at first and second, Micah Johnson at second, Parker Tilke at first. Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Fergus Falls leading 3-0. Here's the full count pitch, and that is low, and he walked him, and we're going to have the bases loaded for Holden Stenstrom. So Haynes has now walked 3 batters in the game. And Holden Stenstrom to the plate. He had the big hit of the game last night against Bloomington, a 2-out go-ahead 2-run double on a full count to give Fergus Falls the lead that would eventually give them the win, as Albrecht goes out to talk to Haynes for a moment. And the bases are loaded. All this has happened. A run is in. Bases are loaded. All this has happened with 2 outs. And Stenstrom can really give Fergus Falls an advantage here if he can get a hit. Bases loaded. Stenstrom at the plate. Haynes ready. Winds up and delivers. Line drive, but that's going to be foul down the left field line. He was on top of it, but it was well foul. And it'll be 0-1. It's Micah Johnson at third, Parker Tilke at second, Nolan Felstool at first. And Stenstrom ready to go. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ahead of that one. And now he's down 0-2 against Dirk Haynes. Haynes looking for his first strikeout of the game. Bases loaded. And Stenstrom digs in. And here's the pitch from Haynes. Swing, he pops it up. And in play, third baseman, shielding from the sun a little bit, having trouble, and the ball goes down. Misplayed it, the sun in his eyes, and the ball went into the grass, and it is going to be a 2-run. I don't think his glove got on the ball, so I don't know that that's an error. Maybe it did. Oh, they put up an error here right off the bat, but what a huge play. 2-run score on what should have been an easy catch there. As Johnson scores and Tilke scores, and they do call it an error, and that'll be the third error of the game for Camden Braves, who's had a tough game over at third. Now it's first and third. 5-0 is the score and 2 outs. There's a line drive to the gap, and that is going to find the gap in left center field. A run scores. On his way to second, it's going to be second and third on the double by Jacob Froning, an RBI double. It's 6-0. As coming in to score was Nolan Felstool. Holden Stenstrom gets to third. And Fergus Falls having an inning here, having a 2-out rally. They have 4 2-out runs here in the bottom of the third. What a rally for Fergus Falls. And now coming out to the mound is Mike Anderson, and that is going to be it for Dirk Haynes. So 4 runs are in, second and third. Now the top of the lineup, and the ninth batter to hit this inning, Caleb Froning, is going to come up. So we'll take a quick break and see if Fergus Falls can tack on any more here in the bottom of the third when we come back. 30-second timeout. It's Fergus Falls 6 and New Ulm nothing. So we'll take a quick break as they're making a pitching change, and back with more Junior Legion State Tournament action after this.
Ryan Welly on customizing your memorial.
We're going to ask a lot of questions. Do you want an upright or something flat? Okay, do you have a color in mind? And then we kind of go through the different types of granite and what can be put on certain granites. Once we kind of get an idea of the color, the size, and the shape of stone that we want, then we start working on design. Our design department will design something up so they get a chance to look at it and they can change it up as many times as they need at that point.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter. It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gates clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
All right, pitching change here. I'm trying to figure out which runs are earned and unearned here for Dirk Haynes as he comes out. Fergus Falls has 4 runs in, and now only one of those 4 is going to be earned because of that error, the 4th error of the game on New Ulm. So Dirk Haynes comes out of the game 2 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts. And Caleb Froning to the plate. The new pitcher is number 15, Aiden Gostanzik. And still more opportunity out there for Fergus Falls. They have 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. And Caleb Froning at the plate facing Gostanzik, the new pitcher. And here's the pitch. And that is chopped foul. Yep, chopped foul off, I think off of the foot of Froning, so it's 0-1. So an RBI double on the previous play by Jacob Froning. Stenstrom, who got on the pop-up that should have been caught, that scored 2, was an RBI double by Froning. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Caleb Froning, and that's low, 1-1. And again, baseball, you just want to keep tacking on those runs and take advantage of opportunities when you got them. And still, with 4 runs in, 2 ducks on the pond here. There's a line drive right side. That's a base hit down the first baseline. That's going to score 2. Caleb Froning on his way to second. It's a 2-run double. A hard line drive that took a bounce just to the left of first base into right field. And 2 more runs are in. And Fergus Falls leads it 8-0. And what a tournament Caleb Froning has had so far. That's a 2-run double. With his pitching performance yesterday, he was 2 for 3 yesterday. Today he's 2 for 3 with a double, a single, a run, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base. And now it's Cam Wiedrich who led off this inning, flying out to center field. And the pitch, and that's popped up in the infield and coming in to make the catch to end the inning on a pop to third. And I got to get the defensive, their little mix and match in here on defense. But what an inning for Fergus Falls. They put up 6 runs in the bottom of the third, all of them after the first 2 batters were retired. And it ends up being 6 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. And we go to the 4th inning. Fergus Falls leading New Ulm 8-0. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Yeah, just getting going in the top of the 4th, and what an inning that was for Fergus Falls. Cam Wiedrich led off the inning, flying out to center. Brody Crine popped out to second. Looked like it might be a quick inning for Dirk Hines. Then Brant Sherman singled. Micah Johnson an RBI double. Then Parker Tilkey walked. Nolan Fellstuhl walked. So that set up the bases loaded in a 3-0 game. And Stenstrom popped it up towards third. What looked to be an easy end of the inning. Misplayed maybe in the sun by Camden Briggs for an error. Must have nicked off his glove. 2-run score. Then Jacob Froning doubled in a run. Then Caleb Froning with a 2-run double after that. And just like that, six runs in after the first 2 batters got out, and Fergus Falls opens up an 8-0 lead. But you always see it Major League games after you get that big inning. You want to cut off hope on the other team and put up a 0. Isaiah Holmes has been great so far, and he throws the first pitch of the 4th inning a little bit low, and it's 1-0. Leading off is Elliot Shabert. He's the cleanup batter. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. And here's the pitch. There's a line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Coming over to play it and getting it in is Parker Tilke, so a leadoff single for Elliot Shabert. Well, the last 2 innings, the leadoff batter has reached for New Ulm, and Holmes has stranded them. See if he can do it again. And now coming to the plate is Parker Neubauer, who reached on an error his first time up, 0 for 1, stole second. So runner at first here in the top of the 4th, and Holmes to the plate, and that's in there for a strike. Isaiah in his first 3 innings, no earned runs, and 2 hits and a walk he had given up. And there's a liner foul out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Parker Neubauer. Shabert takes his lead at first. Nobody out, top of the 4th. Here's the pitch, and curveball. Got him looking. Strike 3. That was a beauty by Holmes, and he gets Neubauer looking. And that's his 5th strikeout of the game here.
Up now to designated hitter number 16, Tanner Backer.
Oh, here is Tanner Backer at the plate. Yeah, Holmes the first 3 innings, no earned runs, 2 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts. And Backer takes a ball, 1-0. 1 out here, top of the 4th, 8-0. Fergus Falls leading New Ulm. And Holmes steps off as Shabert gets back to first. Backer's 0 for 1 in the game, struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. And here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's low in the dirt. Good stop. Well, now trying to get to second. They're going to throw it down to second, and getting in there safely is Shabert. Pretty good job there by Brant Sherman to keep in front of him, but it ricocheted a little too far off his body, and that allowed Shabert to get to second on the wild pitch. So it's 2-0, and Holmes now looks at second to the set, and here's the pitch. That one's high, and it's 3-0 to Tanner Backer, the designated hitter. So 3-0, probably be taking a pitch here. There's a pitch, and that's in there for a strike for Holmes. As New Ulm, they just need base runners. And Isaiah Holmes wants to throw strikes, force him to put it in play. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Backer, and that does catch the inside corner. Backer kind of made a little bit of a extra effort to dive away from that one, but it caught the inside corner, and it's now 3-2. Holmes now to the set, looks at second, and now he comes to the plate, and there's a blooper towards center, coming in and unable to get there in time, and it's going to fall in there for a base hit. And now runners will be at the corner. So a bloop single for Tanner Backer, and it's going to be runner at the corners with 1 out. Didn't hit it on the nose, but it hit it in the right spot. And now New Ulm with a couple base runners. They had first and third last inning, and then had a disastrous base running play, getting into 2 rundowns on a double play to end the inning. And now it's Ryan Rathman, the shortstop, who's 0 for 1, struck out in the 2nd. Shabert at third, Backer at first. 1 out, top of the 4th. Fergus Falls leading 8-0. And here's the pitch from Holmes. There's a pop-up right side in foul territory. Coming over Stenstrom. Oh, and he misplayed it. And it's going to fall down for a foul ball, and that's a big break for New Ulm as a play that should have been made that came down in foul territory in play. But instead of an out, it'll be a strike, and it's 0-1. So New Ulm catching a break. And Ryan Rathman with new life here. Not an error as he didn't touch it, just misplayed it, overran it. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a fly ball down the right field line. Is it going to stay fair? It is just foul, about 4 feet down the right field line. Hustling over after it was Micah Johnson, but it's going to be 0-2. That was close to being a hit and the first run of the game for New Ulm, but just a little bit foul. And now Holmes is ahead 0-2 to the number 7 batter in the order, shortstop Ryan Rathman. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Holmes to the set. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball down the right field line. Johnson hustling over, and he's not going to be able to get there in time. It's foul. So Micah Johnson getting a workout in this 90. It was 91 the last time I checked. 92, yep, popped up a degree, 92-degree heat. And he'll get back out into right field. 0-2 count, 1 out, top of the fourth. First and third for New Ulm. And Ryan Rathman at the plate. Isaiah Holmes would love to get his 6th strikeout here if he can. And here's the pitch. He does get strikeout number 6. Fastball blew it by him. Second time Rathman has gone down swinging. And there's now 2 outs with Hunter Larson, the right fielder, coming to the plate. And he's 0 for 1, grounded out to first his first time. He's a lefty. Well, big at bat here. Chance for New Ulm to score, but chance for Fergus Falls to put up another 0. And he pops it up in the infield. Let's see if they can put it away. It's been tough, but they do. Getting under it and making the play is Caleb Froning. And Isaiah Holmes works out of trouble again. Another scoreless inning as Larson pops out to Caleb Froning. And that's no runs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. And we go, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Fergus Falls 8, New Ulm nothing.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at penlaw.com.
Great job by Isaiah Holmes. Last 2 innings, it's been first and third with 1 out, and he pitched out of both of those. One was in the third inning, it was a mistake by New Ulm, base running mistake that turned into a double play. This time, Isaiah struck out a man and got another to pop out. But one of the sponsors is the Holiday Inn Express Suites of Mall of America. We're staying at the American Legion team, and I are staying there for this tournament, and they're located right next to Mall of America in the heart of Bloomington. A great place to go if you're going to the Twin Cities for a fun trip or a business event. Free hot breakfast, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week shuttles to the Mall of America or the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. Great rooms we had there last night, and a great spot if you're coming to the cities overnight. All right, bottom of the fourth, 8-0. Fergus Falls leads, and leading off is Brody Crine here. And he takes it low and away. The pitcher is Aiden Gastanzik as he came in and got 1 out in relief in the third, and that one's low and away. It's 2-0. Great performance by Fergus Falls today, and nice, I'm sure, for Shane Tilke. I talked to some of the parents throughout. They're sick of getting behind early in the game that they've been doing as Crine takes a strike, 2-1. 4 of their last 5 wins have been comeback fashion, including being down 8-1 yesterday, and I'm sure they feel it's nice to be on the other end of that, except the part where the other team doesn't come back. That's what they're looking to do. 2-1 pitch, and Crine chops it foul. They lead 8-0. For the most part, the defense has been solid. 1 error. The New Ulm defense has been a huge issue in this game. 4 errors, and the big one being a pop-out with 2 outs that should have been caught in a 3-0 game that allowed 2 runs to score, and then 3 more came in after that. 2-2 pitch to Krein, leading off the fourth. There's a chopper towards the hole, picked up by the shortstop. Throws it all the way across, and it gets away from the first baseman. Krein goes around first. He's trying to make it to second. They overthrow the throw to second, and Krein gets into second base to start the fourth inning. Now, I don't know that one's going to be an error. That was a tough play for the shortstop, Ryan Rathman, deep in the hole, long throw. No, they did put up. Well, yeah, it is an error. It was an error that they got him out, but the throw was off that allowed Krein to get to second. So Krein is going to get an infield single, and he's going to get to second on the error. So the fifth error of the game for New Ulm. And just very quickly, Fergus Falls with a runner in scoring position, and Brant Sherman at the plate. And here's the pitch to Sherman, low and outside, 1-0. Sherman is 1 for 2. He reached on an error in the first, and then he singled in the third. Ethan Swedberg, his courtesy runner, came around to score. Catcher Sherman, 1-0 count. And here's the pitch. That's low and away again. Gostanzik has been missing at that spot here to start this inning, and it's now 2-0. Fergus Falls would love to keep putting up runs and pad this lead 8-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch, another one, low and away, exact same spot, and it's 3-0. So now, coming out to talk to Gostanzik is catcher Kyle Albrecht. Just a few words, but he's been missing low and away the first three pitches. He missed low and away to Brody Krein as well. So trying to find the zone here. Trailing Fergus Falls 8-0. And he gets the set. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that one is inside for ball 4. That one wasn't low and away, but couldn't find the zone. And now Fergus Falls with runners at first and second. And nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Micah Johnson to the plate. Great tournament Micah has. Now Ethan Swedberg's going to come out and be a courtesy runner for Brant Sherman, the catcher. Teams are allowed courtesy runners for the pitcher and the catcher. So Ethan Swedberg, speedy Ethan Swedberg. Ethan's a really good athlete, multi-sport athlete. And he's stolen a lot of bases, although there's runners at first and second here. That one's way low and away to Micah Johnson. Micah, he's got some big hits this tournament. What a tournament he's had. He had a big 2-out RBI double the last inning, and he had that 3-run triple yesterday. And now Mike Anderson coming out to talk to Aiden Gostanzik, who's really struggling to find the zone here. It's 1-0. And the infield coming in to chat it up a bit. But what a run here for Fergus Falls, putting up 6 runs in the bottom of the third after getting their first 2 players of the inning out. Wiedrich and Krein were retired, and then the next 7 players reached via either hit, walk, or error, and they put up 6 runs on the board. In fact, all of those were unearned except for 1. Because of the big error that could have ended the inning when it's 3-0. Here's the pitch to Johnson. Micah fouls it back. Out of play. And 1-1. So Micah with a run and an RBI today. He's one of the leaders on the team in runs. I believe he's third in runs with 21. He's got 18 RBIs. And he's been clutch this tournament. Looking for another RBI here as he takes it on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. So 1-2. Krein at second. Swedberg at first. And here's the 1-2 pitch. And Micah pokes it right side, and it is caught. Kind of a blooping soft liner that was caught by the second baseman, Cohen Domeyer. And you could see maybe the wheels turning in Domeyer's head. It wasn't a high pop-up. That was a infield fly. He could have maybe let it bounce and and go for a double play, but he just opted to get the out. Probably the wise play. And Johnson's retired. Parker Tilke to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And he takes it inside. Now they're going to throw it behind and getting picked off. Is he picked off or not? Well, there's the umpires calling him safe, and the New Ulm fans are not happy with that one. So they threw it behind Swedberg, and the ball beat Swedberg there as Ethan was getting a big lead. And it's hard to know where the slide, if he beat the slide or got around it, but he called him safe, and it's now a 1-0 count to Tilke. And Tilke swings and gets a good rip on it, but it's foul down the left field line. And you combine the frustration New Ulm has had with their performance today. 5 errors, and Fergus Falls playing so well. Frustrations with what they felt was a missed call. I don't know if it was or not necessarily. But here's the 1-1 pitch to Tilke, and Parker sends a fly ball to left field. And under it and making the catch is Parker Neubauer. And runners will retreat to first and second. So Tilke flies out to left, and that'll bring up Nolan Fellstuhl. With 2 outs and 2 on, Fellstuhl is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He grounded out to second in the second, and he walked and came around to score in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch from Gastanzik. Catches the corner for a strike. Gastanzik starting to find a little bit of a rhythm here. Finding the zone a bit. It's 0-1 to Fellstuhl, one of the top batting average players on this team. .394 coming into the game. And he takes it outside. It's 1-1. Krein led off with a single, reached the second on the throwing error, and then Brant Sherman walked, and then Micah Johnson had a soft line out to second, and Parker Tilke flew out to left. So first and second, 2 outs, and that is low, 2-1 now to Fellstuhl. It's Fergus Falls 8, New Ulm nothing here in the bottom of the 4th. The count is 2-1 to Nolan Fellstuhl, and it's Aiden Gastanzik on the mound. He brings the pitch, and it is just off the outside corner. And it's 3-1 with Holden Stenstrom on deck. So 3-1, Gastanzik ready to deliver to Nolan Fellstuhl, the lefty. And here it comes. And that one's low. And that'll be a walk, and the bases will now be loaded. Bases loaded for Holden Stenstrom. Well, Holden Stenstrom, the big play of the game. The last inning, he came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he had a pop-up to third that was misplayed and fell on an error, and that scored 2 runs, and then after that, 3 more came in and built up that 8-0 lead, and he's coming up with the bases loaded again. In fact, Stenstrom is 0 for 2. He grounded, but he reached both times on errors by the third baseman, Camden Briggs. So now what do we got going here? Conversation out at the on the mound here between Albrecht and Gastanzik, and now he'll come back. Talk about a chance to totally bust things open here. It's 8-0, bottom of the 4th, 2 outs and the bases loaded, and Holden Stenstrom at the plate. And another thing is, maybe you're patient too. Gastanzik has struggled with walks here. See if you can get ahead in the count. That one's outside right off the bat, and it's 1-0. Brody Krein at third, Ethan Swedberg at second, and Nolan Fellstuhl at first. 2 outs. And here's the pitch to Stenstrom on the way. And he pops it up into short left field. Backing up as a shortstop, and it's going to fall in between a Bermuda Triangle and another defensive lapse by New Ulm is going to score 2. You could kind of tell the uncertainty of the shortstop, Rathman, as he was going back, and the center fielder and left fielders, which was Hubbard and Neubauer, and the ball literally fell. The 3 of them were probably all 8 feet away from each other in a perfect triangle, and the ball fell right in the middle. And it's going to be a 2-run single for Stenstrom as Krein and Sherman come in to score, and it is now 10-0. Fergus Falls with the lead, and they still have runners at the corner with Jacob Froning at the plate. He takes it inside. Goodness, a combination of great play from Fergus Falls today and just epic defensive struggle from New Ulm. And that was, and I should say, to be fair, that wasn't going to be an easy. It wasn't going to be an easy play, but it was a play that should have been made and should have been one of the outfielders to come in and take charge of that. It's the second pitch, or third pitch, is out of the strike zone, and it's now 3-0 to Froning. Here's the pitch to Froning. He fouls it back. Green light on 3-0, and he fouls it back. 3-1. Jacob Froning, he had a big hit last inning, a 2-out RBI double. He's 1 for 2 with a double, a run, and an RBI. And Fergus Falls has yet to strike out in this game. Just a great performance with their bats. Really solid defensively. Isaiah Holmes has been fantastic on the mound. And here's the pitch to Froning, and that one is low. Oh, that's 3-1 actually. I didn't think I was 2 pitches behind. They had 3-1 on the scoreboard, but it was 2-1. So it is now 3-1 with first and third 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and Jacob Froning at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing ground ball towards third, picked up, going to the ground. Across the diamond it goes, and they throw it away. Another error. And a run is going to score. And going all the way to third is Holden Stenstrom. As coming in to score is Fellstuhl. And it's self-destruction here on the New Ulm defense here. And it's been at that third base spot that has been such a struggle. And I haven't been able to catch the number of they have a new third baseman who made that error. And they've had at least 4 of their 6 errors at third base. And it's 11-0 with first and third. And Caleb Froning's going to come to the plate with a chance to tack on some more runs. And Caleb has been one of the stars of this tournament for Fergus Falls. Yesterday, he was 2 for 3 with a walk, a run, and a stolen base. He closed out 4 scoreless innings pitching. And then today, he's 2 for 3 with a single, a double, a run, 2 RBIs, and a steal. What a tournament he's had, as we're going to have a pitching change. And now coming in to pitch for New Ulm is going to be number 17. And that's Cullen Sleddy. So Cullen Sleddy on the mound is the new pitcher, as Gostanzik struggled a little bit with control, but the defense just has not been there to support the pitcher. And 6 errors in the game. Now they didn't give him another error on that last hit, did? Well, no, it should have been. We'll see what the officials. So I'll get the official score so we get the stats right at the end of the game. But it's going to be first and third here. It's 11-0. Fergus Falls leading New Ulm. This is a New Ulm team. On my first glance yesterday, watching them a bit before Fergus Falls played Bloomington, that looked impressive, and you felt that Fergus Falls was going to have their hands full. And so far, it has been nothing further from the truth on that, with Fergus Falls hitting, pitching, defending, and New Ulm defense just struggling. Here's the pitch to Froning from Sleddy, and that's in for a strike. So Cullen Sleddy is in the game pitching. He gets the strike on a fastball on the outside corner, and Caleb Froning 2 for 3 with a double, a run, and 2 RBIs in the game. And here's the pitch to Froning. The curveball is high, and it's 1-1. Fergus Falls can finish this one off. They would not play again today, and they would play next tomorrow at 11:30 against Becker in the championship winners bracket. That delivery is low to Froning, and it's 2-1. Bottom of the fourth, Fergus Falls 11 and New Ulm nothing. And it's 2-1 here to Caleb Froning with runners at the corner, 2 out. Sleddy ready, comes to the plate. That's low and away. It gets away from the catcher. coming home and trying to score and in safely. And now coming towards third is Froning, and Jacob Froning, a great hustle play, comes all the way around from second to third, and it's now 12-0 as Holden Stenstrom came in and scored on the wild pitch in a great hustle. But you got to love that. You're up 12-0, and you're flying around second to get to third and get into third. And it's 3-1 now to Caleb Froning. 12-0 is the score. And here's the pitch to Caleb, and that's low and outside, and he will walk. And there'll be runners at the corners again. And Cam Wiedrich. And this is the second consecutive inning Fergus Falls has batted around. As Wiedrich. Oh, excuse me, we got a pinch hitter. Luke McGuire is in. So Luke McGuire is pinch hitting for Cam Wiedrich. So Luke, his first at bat here of this tournament. And he'll have a chance to drive in a run. 2 outs, first and third. Cullen Sleddy on the mound. Caleb Froning at first, Jacob Froning at third. Here's the pitch to McGuire. It takes it low and away. 12-0 is the score here in the bottom of the fourth. Fergus Falls with 2 in the first, 6 in the third, and 4 here in the fourth. And looking for more here with McGuire at the plate. Here's the pitch, line drive, and that is off the glove of second baseman into center field. A run scores, and it'll be first and second. Another play that could have been made, although the ball was hit very hard, though. A good hit, good strong hit by McGuire. But it will be another error. They're going to give him an error on the play. Jacob Froning comes around to score. It is 13-0. And first and second. And now Brody Krein is going to be hit for as well, too. And it's Bennett Dilkey at the plate. And he takes a strike. So with this big lead, getting some of the guys some at-bats here. And Bennett Dilkey with a chance with runners at first and second. He swings and fouls that one off. So Dilkey in for Krein. Krein led off the inning with a single, came around to score. So it's 1-2 here to Dilkey. First and second, 2 out. Here's the pitch. And just outside. And it's 2-2. Goodness, what an earthquake of a performance this has been on both sides. 12-0 Fergus Falls lead. Tilke grounds it down the third baseline, and it does just go wide of third base and foul. So the count will stay at 2-2. But great play from Fergus Falls. And a defensive disaster here in this game for New Ulm with 7 errors. And here's the pitch to Tilke. He fouls it off. Yeah, they had a 2-2. They brought it back to 1-2. So the count is 1-2 as he fouls that one off. Bennett Tilke, only 8 plate appearances this year in those. And he's 2 for 7 hitting on the season. And here's the 1-2 pitch and a chopper right back to the pitcher. Sleddy flips it over to first, and that will put an end to the inning. A 1-3 putout to end the fourth. But Fergus Falls, after getting 6 in the third, they put up 5 more in the fourth as they score 5 runs. Is that only 2 hits? Yeah, 5 runs on 2 hits. And there were 3 errors and 2 left on base. We go to the 5th. 13-0. Fergus Falls leads. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more after this timeout.
What are you thinking about right now? Let me guess. You're thinking how great pancakes and hash browns would taste right now at the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking. Trust me, even though I own the joint, I still think about how awesome our food is. From our pancakes to our burgers, our lunch specials to our award-winning omelets, a person just can't help think about how satisfying and delicious the food really is. So join us today for breakfast all day and lunch too at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you in the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, two names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. Two local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. Two funeral homes, one common mission in Fergus Falls.
All right, top of the fifth, and Cullen Sleddy, who's in for Cannon Briggs, is at the plate. He fouled the first pitch off. It's 0-1, and it's Isaiah Holmes who's been great today. Twirls that one outside. It's 1-1. Now, a little bit of my inexperience on broadcasting baseball, there's a 10-run rule in effect as the pitch is up and in for a ball, 2-1. So with Fergus Falls leading 13-0, New Ulm has to score at least 4 runs in this inning or the game is over. If they're up by 10 after 5 innings, the game is over. And Sleddy pops it up. Looks like it's in the infield. Coming in, Stenstrom. Nope, Holmes is going to take it, but it goes off his glove, and that'll be an error. And reaching base will be Sleddy. And that's one probably you need your first baseman. It's a little tougher play for the pitcher coming over. And the one where Stenstrom maybe needs to take charge and make that play. But Holmes called for it. And we've seen some issues today in both teams with some of the pop-ups. They've been tough, real bright sun today. And so it'll be an error on Holmes to allow Sleddy to get to first. So 1 on, nobody out. There's a fly ball to center field. And ranging in and making the play is Parker Tilke. So first pitch swinging was Zach Hubbard. And he flies out to Parker Tilke. We got 1 down. Fergus Falls is 2 outs away from advancing to the next round and get the afternoon off. And if Isaiah Holmes can finish this off and only use 1 pitcher today, can you imagine a better scenario for Shane Tilke's team going into tomorrow? Here's the pitch from Holmes. That's in there for a strike. It's Cohen Domeyer at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a stolen base. Holmes to the set. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. It ricochets off of Sherman and gets away, and that'll allow Sleddy to get to second base. So runner at second with 1 out. And top of the fifth, Fergus Falls 13, New Ulm nothing. And here's the pitch from Holmes. Ground ball to third. Really great stop at third. Slinging it across the way. Gets the out. What a phenomenal play by Nolan Fellstool. Are you kidding me? It reminded me of Gary Gaetti circa 87 Twins. Just a chopper down the left side that went over third base. He stabbed it, gathered himself, and threw a bullet across the field to get the out. That was a beauty. Oh, what a play. So now Fergus Falls is 1 out away from advancing, leading 13-0 here in the fifth with Kyle Albrecht at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a double. And here's the pitch from Holmes. And that one is low, gets away from Sherman, but staying at third is Sleddy. Sleddy advanced to third on that grounder. But holy smokes, what a great play that was by Fellstool. The defensive play of the tournament so far for Fergus Falls. Here's the pitch from Holmes. That's high, and now it's 3-0. Albrecht, the number 3 batter. He was up in the third when the game was in doubt still, 2-0, and that big base running mishap by his team that was a wild double play to end the inning, and Holmes loses them on the fastball outside. Only the second walk of the game for Isaiah Holmes, and it's first and third with 2 out, and Elliot Chabert to the plate. Shabert is 1 for 2. Grounded out to second in the first. Singled to lead off the fourth. So first and third, they need at least 4 to keep this game going. So all that matters is the batter at the plate, and Shabert takes a strike, 0-1. Isaiah Holmes to the set. And the pitch, that's outside, 1-1. Fergus Falls trying to advance to face Becker tomorrow morning at 11:30. And the pitch from Holmes. Swing that's chopped to first. It goes right into the glove of Stenstrom. He steps on the bag, and that will do it here. And what a performance by Fergus Falls. Post 30, 13-0 is the final score. A combination of Shane Tilke's team just playing great baseball in all facets, and New Ulm giving the Otters. Hey, that's the only first time I said the Otters today. I said it like 3 times last night. Giving Fergus Falls post 30 so many extra opportunities with defensive mistakes and a huge base running mistake, and Fergus Falls took advantage every single time, it seemed like, on their way to this 5-inning, 13-0 win. So what a performance. And Fergus Falls, they'll move on, and they're going to go play tomorrow against Becker. So Becker and Fergus Falls are the only 2 teams in this tournament that have not lost yet. And it'll be at 11:30 tomorrow morning right here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. So we're going to take a timeout. It's going to be our Pemberton Law postgame show when we return. Lots to talk about here and cover in our postgame show. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Fergus Falls 13, New Ulm 0. Fergus Falls advances in the winners bracket tomorrow. We'll be back with our Pemberton Law postgame show after this.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement. Our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What are you thinking about right now? Let me guess. You're thinking how great pancakes and hash browns would taste right now at the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking, and trust me, even though I own the joint, I still think about how awesome our food is. From our pancakes to our burgers, our lunch specials to our award-winning omelets, a person just can't help think about how satisfying and delicious the food really is. So join us today for breakfast all day and lunch too at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gate's clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil, Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Back here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, and it's been 65 years since a Fergus Falls Legion team has been to the state tournament. The last time was in 1960. It's the first ever for a junior Legion team, and man, are they making the most of their appearance here as they wallop New Ulm today, 13-0 in 5 innings in a great performance by Shane Tilke's team. Isaiah Holmes was outstanding on the mound today. 5 shutout innings, and you talk about a perfect scenario. You win the game, you only use one pitcher, so many more options. You take the rest of the day off to relax, and now you can focus on Becker, who you're playing at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Now New Ulm, who loses, goodness, can't be a good feeling to play as poorly as they did with their 7 errors and now they're going to be playing in 25 minutes against Stillwater to try to fend off elimination. But 13-0, Fergus Falls with the win. This is our Pemberton Law game show, and let's just recap what happened in this game. And again, it was a combination of a great performance for Fergus Falls and struggles in numerous facets for New Ulm. After a scoreless first inning for Isaiah Holmes shutting down New Ulm, Fergus Falls came back. Caleb Froning, Cam Wiedrich singled to lead off the first inning, and they came around to score on an error and then on a double play to take a 2-0 lead. And New Ulm did a good job of actually eliminating the damage. Fergus Falls had the bases loaded, nobody out, held it to 2 runs being scored, but an error hurt them in that one. And then after a scoreless second inning for both teams and a scoreless top of the third for New Ulm, it was the big inning that broke things open. And amazingly, it started with 2 Fergus Falls outs. Cam Wiedrich and Brody Crine flew out to center, popped out to second. Now, with 2 outs, Brant Sherman singled. Then Micah Johnson had a nice RBI double to give Fergus Falls the 3-0 lead. Parker Tilke walked. Nolan Fellstuhl walked. And what was the key play of the game with the bases loaded in a 3-0 game in the third, Holden Stenstrom was up, and he popped it up to third. And what looked like was going to be the play to end the inning, the play was not made by third baseman Camden Briggs. It got a piece of his glove, evidently. Error was made. 2 runs scored. That made it 5-0. And then right after that, Jacob Froning had an RBI double, and then Caleb Froning with a 2-run double. So Fergus Falls gets in 6 runs in the third, 5 of those unearned, to take a commanding 8-0 lead. Then after Isaiah Holmes put up another 0, Fergus Falls in the fourth, they batted around the second time in a row as Brody Crine led off with a single. Brant Sherman walked. Then there were 2 outs, so it looked like New Ulm might get out of it again, but then Fellstuhl walked, and then it was a two-run single for Holden Stenstrom. But the issue was it wasn't really your traditional line drive single. It was a misplayed ball again. That it wasn't too badly misplayed, but a play that should have been caught, where three players converged and just looked at each other, and the ball fell in the middle between them. Then another error on the third baseman on the next play was able to keep the rally going. And after scoring 6 in the third, they scored 5 in the fifth, led 13-0. And you couldn't write the script any better for Shane Tilke as Isaiah Holmes came out and finished off his 5th consecutive scoreless inning. And Fergus Falls only uses 1 pitcher today on their way to a 13-0 win. How about this stat? Fergus Falls had 6 more runs than they had hits today. 13 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors for Fergus Falls, no runs for New Ulm on 4 hits, and 7 errors defensively, and combination of mistake after mistake by New Ulm and great play by Fergus Falls, pitching solid defensively and then taking advantage of it. Fergus Falls did a great job at the plate, putting the ball in play, being disciplined at the plate. There were no strikeouts in the game for Fergus Falls. Gotta love that. They put the ball in play. And how many walks did they have? If I can count those up here real quick. Post 30 ended up having 6 walks in the game, no strikeouts. And that's another reason why they had so many runs. It wasn't all errors. They had got on base by having good discipline at the plate and kept innings going that way. So great performance for Fergus Falls. They advance to play tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning against Becker. The only other team, Becker beat Farmington 12-11 this morning to advance in the winner's bracket. This is our Pemberton Law post-game report. We're going to take another timeout, and we'll have more when we return. We'll go over some of the better individual performances. We'll add up what everyone did at the plate here and talk about that when we return. Back with more at Pemberton Law post-game show after this.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists, checking things off the list, like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane for the grill, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks. And they got the snacks and Gatorade, too. And fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Fur Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Ryan Welly from Fergus Falls Monument talks about what he enjoys most about their family business.
When families come back and say how it brought them closure, we know that people 3-4 generations down are going to look at this product, and I know it'll still be there, and I know what it'll look like when they go look at it. And that part I really enjoy about it. Just having a product that not many people can say 300 years from now it should look the same as it does right now.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at ForeverStoneMemorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement. Our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, two names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. Two local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. Two funeral homes, one common mission in Fergus Falls.
All right, back here at the Pemberton Law post-game report. Fergus Falls 13, Fergus Falls post 30, 13, New Ulm post 132-0. A dominating performance for Fergus Falls today. And let's take a look quick at some of the better individual performances in this game. And I quick tallied them up. We had Caleb Browning just having an unbelievable tournament so far, his first two games. Today he was 2 for 3. With a double, a walk, a run, a pair of RBIs. Yesterday he was 2 for 3 with a run, a steal. In fact, he had a stolen base as well today, too. And that great pitching performance in relief yesterday. Brody Cryan was 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Micah Johnson had another big 2-out hit today, 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Nolan Fellstool 0 for 1, but he walked a couple times and came around to score, and he had one of the best defensive plays you'll see at this level. A great play in the 5th inning on a chopper in foul territory. A chopper that went over third, and he made the play running into foul territory and threw a bullet over to first to get the out. It was a beautiful play. Holden Stenstrom was 1 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs, and Jacob Froning was 1 for 3 with a double, 2 runs, and an RBI. And again, Isaiah Holmes, he was outstanding today. 5 innings pitched, no earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and ended up with 5 strikeouts. Is that right? 5 strikeouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts, So 6 strikeouts for Isaiah Holmes. He was outstanding on the mound. Fergus Falls only uses 1 pitcher, and they will have so many more options than they might have had things gone differently today for their game tomorrow. So perfect scenario today for the post-30 team. So we're going to take one final timeout, and when we return, we'll just take a look at the brackets, set everything up for what's coming up tomorrow and the rest of the tournament here. Fergus Falls over New Ulm 13-0. They advance in the winner's bracket in this double elimination Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. So we'll take one final timeout on our Pemberton Law postgame report, and we'll wrap things up in just a moment.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you and the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at penlaw.com.
Well, back here at our Pemberton Law postgame report. Well, tonight the American Legion team is going to go back to the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Mall of America and relax after a couple wins, kick back. Coaching and competing, never in tournaments. Nothing better than winning your game and having the rest of the day to relax and decompress. And Fergus Falls Post 30 is going to get to do that today. They're going to do it over at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites where they're staying. I'm staying there tonight too, coming back tomorrow, and it's a great hotel. If you're heading to the cities for any type of event, make your reservations at Holiday Inn Express Suites, Mall of America, located right in the heart of Bloomington, next to Mall of America, within a few minutes of Mall of America and the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Free breakfast, shuttle services available to the mall and to the airport, and experience that great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Mall of America. Our Pemberton Law postgame report. So, with Fergus Falls defeating New Ulm 13-0, they beat Bloomington in dramatic comeback fashion last night. So Fergus Falls will advance to play tomorrow. And Fergus Falls and Becker are the only two teams that haven't, on this 8-team double elimination tournament, that has not lost yet. So Fergus Falls Becker this morning beat Farmington 12-11 in a close game. So Becker advances, and then Fergus Falls beating New Ulm 13-0 in 5 innings. That game will be tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. is the scheduled first pitch, and we're going to have coverage of that right here on Channel 977. And as you noticed, we got on the air a little bit late. The games tend to start a little bit later than the scheduled time because of games preceding. There will be one. Is there going to be one game before that, or won't there be? That might be the first game of the day tomorrow. So I'm very hopeful that will be pretty close to being on time. So we're going to plan on being on the air at 11:15 a.m., 11:30 first pitch. So the games that happened today were Chanhassen eliminated Bloomington 3-2. Excelsior Blue was eliminated last night. Then Becker beat Farmington 12-11, and Fergus Falls over New Ulm 13-0. So now the game coming up in a few minutes here is going to be Stillwater versus New Ulm. And then after that, it'll be Chanhassen and Farmington. The loser of those games will have their second loss of the tournament and will be eliminated. And the winners of those two games will play after the Fergus Falls Becker game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So Fergus Falls tomorrow plays Becker. The winner of that game would move on to the championship game, which would be Sunday at noon, and the winner of that game would have to be beaten twice in that championship game because you got to get beat twice in this double elim tournament. The loser of the Becker-Fergus Falls game will then play at 4:30 in that elimination bracket for the right to try to get back into the championship game on that Sunday. So Fergus Falls wins tomorrow. They'd only have the one game tomorrow, and that's at 11:30. If they lose, they would play later, again at 4:30 later on in the day. So exciting times here. Again, a historic run for this post-30 team, and what a comeback win last night, and then a dominating win today as they keep the excitement going. And hope you enjoyed the broadcast listening to this team. They're putting a really good effort in and doing a great job, and look forward to playing an outstanding Becker team tomorrow at 11:30. We'll have coverage of it right here on Channel 977, 11:15 pregame and 11:30 first pitch. So that's going to do it with our final score here. Fergus Falls 13, New Ulm 0 in 5 innings. And this is Jason Retzlaff signing off from Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, and we thank you for listening to Fergus Falls Post 30 Baseball at the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament action. And have a great afternoon, and we'll see you on the radio tomorrow morning.
Fergus Falls American Legion Baseball brought to you by American Federal Bank, Olson Funeral Home, FM Bank of Fergus Falls, the Viking Cafe, American Legion Post 30, Olson Oil Card Express, Fergus Falls Monument Company, Lakeway Express, and Pemberton Law.
Channel 977.